What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So me and Talia just hanging out in front of the Crystal Tower here, just getting ready for Shadowbringers. It's getting close. It's getting close, but not close enough. There was a live letter today from Yoshi P and all the gang and stuff. A little less technical issues free, like less had some good audio. It was we didn't go deaf. It was quite good. Um, but they did release the sort of dungeon sort of walkthrough, not a walkthrough, but like, sort of fly through type thing, just to see what they look like, look at some of the bosses and stuff. Um, so we're gonna watch that video, have a look, react to that, and then we'll just sort of go into some of the stuff that they went into on the live letter, and stuff that we're hyped for Shadowbringers. So yeah, let's check it out. Oh, kind of excited for this. Shadowbringers. Music's cool. It's like the dungeon fight music. I like it. I have a feeling the music's gonna be great in this expansion. Not that it's not great in every expansion, but I think this one could be something special. Looking like a forest. This looks definitely like first dungeon, like 61. All the sin eaters and stuff. In the farmlands. It's cool. Whoa. That's cool. Very, very cool. This is definitely in that one with the fat cats. It's armadillos. Nice. It kind of reminds me where like Thancred and stuff was running through in the trailer. A giant armadillo. Nice. I don't know if that was the boss or not, but we get to fight a giant armadillo. Whoa. Dude. Look at this place. Like fairy portals and it goes to the next one. Off to the castle. Or like one of the castles, I guess, in that area. Dude, look at this place. This is amazing. The detail on that one was... Mwah. That's like a ruin. Maybe when we're trying to figure out the secrets of like Hydaelyn and Zodiark and stuff, maybe. I like the music. It's a big bat boy. That's cool. Look at this forest. That one looks really cool as well. Oh. Going all like God of War up in here. We're really going all God of War. That's a Titan. Holy shit, look at that thing. What? It's like a freaking Mount Olympus freaking pantheon thing up there. Holy crap. It's so stark. It's like such a... Gonna need some shades for that one. Holy cow. Oh, here we go. Here's some bosses. That Cerberus, we've seen that before. Look at him! It's like a gentleman freaking, Froggo man. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah, that's first boss, like end boss material right there. That's first end boss material right there. That one. Very cool. The music is, oh, so good. So good. Alright, I mean, like just going through some of them, like the one, it definitely looks like it's in around the Crystallum, like in that area. That's definitely first dungeon. That's for sure. Like the whole farmland and going through, and like you saw that last boss at the end. That's pure, like first end boss material right there. That Fairyland one, holy cow! Like, I'm trying to think if there's any dungeon that is like that. The closest thing I'd imagine to that is like Thorn March. But other than that, I'm trying to remember there's anything quite similar to that. Nothing is coming to mind. At least not at the moment anymore. I'm sure all y'all have something, but like it to me, like that's very, very cool. And like how the like the flowers or the petals or whatever that was came down and stuff. They even showed like one of the bosses in the live letter. Like it's like a Frogger man, and he has like this long ass freaking name and stuff. It's like Lord something something of the Twilight Gate or something like that. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. This like if it was, because like I mean I was excited when you saw Gimlet. Like Gimlet and the Burn were like two like really. Like they seem to like have Stormblood stepped up the the detail and the like, you know, uniqueness of the dungeons, definitely thing. I mean every dungeon's got its own thing, but like that stepped it up a bit more in Stormblood, and then like with the Burn and Gimlet, it definitely took on another thing of its own. I don't think they might be on the epic scale of Gimlet because of like what Gimlet means, like story-wise and stuff. But we'll definitely get ones like that for sure. For sure. Like that one at the end with the the freaking Titan mountain, like we're on the back of this freaking Titan thing with like this very stark, very, you know, perfect like pantheon thing. Like it looked like gods lived there. It was crazy. You know, up there and stuff, and I think that one is definitely gonna like be very similar to like, you know, very epic and Gimlet in a way. But I like a lot of those looked amazing, like super cool. And then like it'd be interesting to see, like I think they showed at the end was a lot of end bosses. So I mean we saw a sort of golden girl. I think that one might be the one on the back of the Titan. I'm not sure. We've also seen ones. I'm not sure if there was a in one of the, I think it was the launch trailer, there was one where the guy basically looked like an angel, and like all the wings opened up, and he looked badass as hell. Don't know if that's going to be in that dungeon too, or he might be like a primal or something on that. I'm not sure. But like it looked, that a lot of those bosses looked sick, like really, really cool. So I mean, like, we saw some of the in-between bosses, like the first boss, second boss sort of thing. Like, there's a giant armadillo, there's a giant bat dude, and then obviously we're gonna get a whole bunch of Sin Eaters and stuff. I think most of them will be Sin Eaters, I imagine, but that looked very, very cool. I'm very excited for the dungeons coming up, for Shadowbringers and stuff. Speaking of dungeons, and this is something that they showed off. They have showed off with the press tour stuff, but they kind of went into a little more like detail, and everyone kind of got to see it in kind of a working thing, sort of live. Is the trust system. The trust system got showed off at the live letter. This is essentially an upgraded version of the squadron system that's currently in the game at the moment. If you aren't aware of that, it is something to do with your Grand Company. Once you reach a certain rank in your Grand Company, you unlock squadrons, and you can basically recruit NPCs, and these NPCs can go off and do missions, and they level up, they gain gear, at least up to level 50, and then 50 to 60, they are basically just gaining levels. It doesn't change, they don't change too much. But it was definitely like a test system. It was not a fully realized system. Like, everything with the Grand Company seems very unfinished. Like even like the ranks are made. You're made to have more ranks, but we don't have access to them yet. It's very strange what they've done with the Grand Company. But yeah, so squadrons, you can basically use squadrons once you've leveled them up enough and have enough of them with the right, obviously the right classes. You can use them to go into dungeons without a party. You can use them as your party. But the AI is really bad. The AI is very bad. The tanks don't hold aggro too much. Basically, you have to direct them individually. Sometimes their big AoE aggro gainers hit, like Flash. They might hit, but not all. Very, very rarely do they hit everything, so you gotta like individually target some stuff. And they have a habit of having to spend all their cooldowns and stuff. All their off cooldown things and all their roll actions. They love to sit there for about 5 seconds, spending every single one of them on every fight. It's a very rough system. Very, very rough. But the trust system, is an upgraded version. It is, these guys, they know what to do. The tank will go, when you get in within a certain range of enemies, will go and intercept the enemies. He'll gain aggro of all the enemies. He'll hold that aggro. They showed Thancred doing this with the Gunbreaker. The healers and stuff were healing. They moved out of AoEs. They knew what they were doing. And apparently they have personalities. So they said, because in the sort of what they were showing, they had Thancred, Minfilia, spoilers a little bit there, I guess, and Urionge, sort of healing, and Minfilia was the DPS. And apparently, she's quite hesitant to use the LB, but if you had Alize, who's quite fiery, she will use the LB. You know, she's quite fiery, she'll dive in. Apparently she even gets hit a little bit more often. Like, she's not as careful as what all the others are. And apparently all of them have certain quirks through the dungeons and stuff. Now, this trust system is only for 5.0 dungeons at the moment. 5.0 main story dungeons, MSQ dungeons. So this is not something that we can do through all the other dungeons. At least not yet. I imagine this might be a system that they try and push through all of the content. Or at least maybe upgrade the squadrons and then maybe move the squadrons up to 70. And then that will meet the trust system at that point. So I think it's definitely going to be a project for later on. This might be a further on patches. Could even be the next expansion thing where this will get finally pushed through. This system is very, very cool. It's a very, very cool system. It's a good way to get around long queues, especially for DPS. I think this is going to be great for DPS leveling, because I use squadrons a lot for DPS leveling. I think you're able to get around, like, from basically 20 to 60, you can get around DPS queues, especially if you don't want to do like Palace of the Dead or Heaven on High, or Heaven on High is more for later on, but mainly Palace of the Dead. I can't stand that at the moment. Like, I've done Palace of the Dead, and I don't want to be spamming that to level my character. I don't. I'd rather do dungeons. Even with squadrons, I'd rather do dungeons. So it's definitely a nice alternative. This is a better version of that. So getting DPS from 70 to 80 just got a lot nicer, I think. You know, once you get to, you'll have to obviously level to 71, because I imagine 71's when the dungeon comes available. But from then on, you can spam dungeons all the way through. It'd be real nice, and not have to wait. They did say it'll be a bit slower. Like, obviously, these guys won't be able to handle big packs, I don't think. I think that from what I've been hearing from the guys that were at the media thing, it was sort of a maximum of 2 packs. Like, it wasn't too many. Like, imagine they're like a newish tank. You know, a newish tank, a newish healer. You don't want to push too hard. They got limits. They have limits. And, you know, they won't be able to burn down packs of enemies too quickly like an experienced group. So it will be faster to go with people. But if you don't have people and there's a long ass queue, this is a good way to get through the story. This is a good way to get through the story and not be depending on queues. Also, I think this is a nice way if, you know, you've gotten healers and tanks, like, especially now that, like, tanking and healing's changed a little bit, especially healing. This could be a nice way to sort of get some practice in dungeons, gain a little bit of confidence. You know, maybe you're not so confident in your healing. I will say also that, you know, dungeon anxiety, you know, grouping up with people, there's an anxiety there. I understand that. For the first few years I played Final Fantasy XIV, I had massive anxiety about being in dungeons and, you know, doing the content with people, because I always felt like I was going to let people down. That is a real thing. It is a real thing. And if this can give people a little bit of confidence, so be it. I think, like, you know, obviously you've done, you know, dungeons to get to 70, but if this can give people a little bit of confidence, especially, you know, to learn dungeons a little bit, you know, sort of understand what they have to do and what they can expect in there, I think that can help a lot too. So I think this is good all around. This is good all around. I heard, like, I saw some people say, like, oh man, this could be turning into a single player game. No, it's not that. I mean, this is only for MSQ, so this is only like for 4 dungeons. It's nothing. Like, you know, once you get to endgame, which is like really when everything starts kicking in, like you're doing raids, you're doing, you know, high level dungeons, you're doing all that stuff there. The in-between stuff is very much just for leveling. So a lot of people want to get through that as quick as they can. So if this can help speed that up, if this can make it easier on some people to get from 70 to 80, so be it. So be it. I think it's a good thing. And this is not turning into a single player game. It will never turn into a single player game. I think it will help us progress through the story a bit nicer. And looking at how many people are playing 14 now, and how many people have pre-ordered Shadowbringers, those queues could be quite big. Those queues could be quite big, especially if you know, there's a new DPS. So DPS queue is going to be outrageous, with Dancer and all that. And even like for tanks now with Gunbreaker, they'll be a lot less than DPS queues. But yeah, I think anything can help cut those queue times down. We're good. It's a good thing. So yeah, like all round, I think that system looks really good. The UI looks really good. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing, yeah. Then, like, they kind of, you know, they did a lot of showing off different UI changes, the crafting and gathering side. I'm a massive crafter and gatherer. I'm maxed on all of them. The new crafting UI, holy cow! I was like, yes, that was one of the hypest things I had through the entire live letter, was that crafting UI. Like, it looks really, really good. Like, nice, sort of more streamlined, shows what you need to see a lot more cleaner. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, man. And I'm moving some skills around in the crafting side. Everyone's getting steady hand 2, which is big. That's a big thing for crafting. And also Brigate's Blessing, I think, as well, which is another big one as well. So that all classes are getting them. All classes. And also taking aspects away, which, I mean, I think that hasn't really been too relevant, at least not to my knowledge, since like 50 something. I think they moved away from aspects quite a bit, so they're completely getting rid of that. And I think they're just taking away some of the skills that relate to that, just to clean up and like allow us to have a few more abilities. Because I mean, I look at my crafting hotbars and I'm like, if we get more abilities, I'm gonna need another hotbar. And a lot of them are like very, like, a lot of them are outdated, so hopefully they can clean that up a little bit. Gathering and stuff, like, there's in-game timers now for nodes, for unspoiled nodes and stuff, which is amazing. Like, you can, and you'll be able to see where they are. A lot of nice quality of life stuff for crafting and gathering. A lot of nice, really good stuff there. A lot of quality of life stuff all round, really. Like hunts, they're expanding the hunt allowance for seals. That's really good. And also, when you get your what is it? The hunts, your hunts for the week. Mainly the B rank one. So your weekly one. It actually tracks it when you get into the area. It will track where it is. So there's no more like, okay, let's look up all the spawn points now. Okay, they spawn around there, there, and there. And then you start circling and seeing if you can find it. Or you're in shout saying like, hey, has anyone seen this? No more. No more. The actual hunt bill will track it for you, which is amazing. That's awesome. And also, if an S rank spawns in the area that you're in, a big thing will come up, like either in the chat or actually you saying like, hey, you sense this. You sense a strong monster in the area or something. So, if you're not in a hunt link shell or, it has not been reported yet, now we'll be able to tell. So that's really nice too. So I dig that a lot. Retainer UI has been redone, which looks really, really good. The housing preview stuff looks amazing. The fact that I can actually preview something before having to craft it, before having to buy it, and see if it actually works in my house. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So that was really good. No news on the new housing area or the supposed new housing area for Ishgard. Nothing for the Ishgard stuff at all. Like the reclamation thing or anything like that. None of it. So, like rebuilding of Ishgard and stuff. None. So, I imagine that might be like 5.1 stuff. I think that might be 5.1 coming in. Once everyone kind of gets into things and stuff. And then they went into the raids and stuff with Eden, mainly Eden. They showed off. They sort of showed the area. Well, it's like this initial area with this very stark, like nothing. It's like the burn, right? Like completely sapped of everything, just like white rock and sand. Very bright, very bright. So we might need some shades. And then in the background there was this like winged thing in the sand, like buried in the sand, and it looked like Eden from Final Fantasy VIII. So this could be like a Final Fantasy, like at least for the first part, because you know how like this, like normal raids are always broken up into 3 sections as you go through the thing. This like could be like this one could be related to Final Fantasy VIII and stuff. Because it looked like it. I don't know if it will be, but it looked like it. A lot of people in the FC were like, "It looks like it. It looks like Eden." And it looked very cool. We didn't get to see any like bosses or anything like that. It was a very much a hint thing. But yeah. They gave us a timeline too when that's going to come out. The normal's going to come out 2 weeks after launch, and then the Savage will come out 2 weeks after that. For those who don't know, Savage is basically like Mythic rating. If you're familiar with WoW, it's one of the hardest ways to, basically the hardest tier of rating. There is Ultimate rating, but this would be the newest one. So probably like the Ultimates are Ultimate for a reason, but they are like on their own special category. Savage is the highest, as one of the highest rating tiers, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, there is a lot of great stuff, a lot of awesome stuff coming out. I was surprised at how long this live letter was. I really was, because like, I mean, this is the last one prior to launch. There will be a patch reading. Not translated, however. So there'll be, I think there's a Discord that translates everything for you. The Final Fantasy XIV Discord. There's some stuff there that can help you out translating wise if you want to tune in for that. They're actually going to have the Japanese VO actor for Thancred to come in and do some stuff. So if you're into that, You love you some Thancred. Love that voice. There you go. You can see him. So he's gonna come in. So that's gonna be the day before the early access starts. So basically the real launch. Most people that are gonna be playing Shadowbringers will be playing it on the 28th. Unless you have some unforeseen stuff like you're working or something, then you won't be able to. I myself have the entire week off, so I can no-life this. But yeah. Nah, it is... Shadowbringers looking damn good. Damn good. I mean, you saw that dungeon roll. You saw that whole thing, like, going through it, and the look of all these dungeons and stuff looks sick. Hearing the stuff from E3 about Titania and how not many people bet it. I think a lot of that was... it's tough to put eight people together that know how to work together and stuff. I mean, it's basically, I guess, going in as a pug, you know, pugging it up. But I think brand new content like that, it's always tough. It's always tough. Apparently, it was like a 30% completion. There was one guy I know who managed to score himself a t-shirt without, like I Bit Titania t-shirt without beating it. I won't name names, but that did happen. And yeah, so hearing the stuff about Titania and stuff looks, it sounds pretty cool. I'm just excited, man. I am super excited to you know, to get into this, to get into it, to experience the new stuff. So, I mean, I'm counting down the days, man. I'm counting down the days. We're getting there. 2 weeks. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Alright, guys. That's gonna be it for us. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys, for all the subs and stuff, all the views. For those who did not see, we actually broke 1 million views on the channel. So thank you very much. That's huge. Like, for a small channel like myself to hit that milestone is awesome. It is super cool to see. So thank you for everyone who's checked out my videos and stuff. It's just a lot of fun to do these. I enjoyed a lot. I wish I could put out more as I can do. But I'm still learning. I'm still doing stuff. I love doing it. We are pushing for 3,000 subs. We are into the last 100, so we are getting there. We're getting there pretty quick. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me. Welcome to all the new subs. Thank you to all the ones who've been here for a long time and for all the way through. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the kind comments. And yeah. All right, guys. Catch you later. Peace. Bye.